You are teaching according to the verse of Atma Bodha book? Okay.
Yes. We will be going verse by verse, Premaji.
Okay. So 2 verses over or what?
No, we just went through the introduction so far. Introduction to the book.
Okay.
Now we will be starting the actual verses of the Atma Bodha.
Oh, okay.
Today we will be starting with we went through the introduction and today we will be starting. Let's start with the prayers.
Yeah.
Please mute yourself. Everybody,
Okay.
please. Om. 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 Sahana bhavatu. Sahanau bhunaktu. Sah वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भा शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् Okay. Hari Om, everybody. Okay. A few more faces, please. Videos on. So, last week, we looked at the introduction. We looked at why we are studying this Atma Bodha. What is the purpose of this Shastra? And we went into the details of we went into some amount of why we need a Shastra to show us the reality. For us to be able to see the real from the unreal. We don't even know that we are seeing the unreal. We don't even know that we are expressing the unreal until the Shastra tells that hey Muda, you are looking at the unreal, you have to look at what is the reality is completely different. And then that is the step by step. We looked at the 3 kind of pramanas. We saw the pratyaksha pramana, anumana, and shabda. So what I see is also an image which is projected because of the way this equipment of this eye, this lens is made. And I don't even see it in the real world. I see it inside my mind, in my mind. I experience it as though I'm seeing outside because of the engagement of the senses, but in reality, I'm experiencing it in my mind. So what I'm seeing is only an image of the world. what I'm hearing, outside we see sound waves. What is there is only sound waves. When it falls in my eardrum, only then it becomes sound for me. Otherwise, it is only sound waves outside. And the way I experience the sound can be different from the way someone else experiences. So all the senses are a tool made in a certain way, because of which we are experiencing it in one way, the snake is experiencing it in another way, a bat is experiencing it in another way. We have a limitation. These senses are not able to perceive all the sounds, all the lights. The bats can experience certain different kind of sounds, and at night they can see better. We don't experience everything. So the senses are also limited. So we can't experience everything in pratyaksha. So it is limited. It is distorted. I don't know the reality. I think this is the reality, but it is distorted. Just pratyaksha itself is. And then anumana, the moment the mind starts playing, some more distortion now happens. So how do we know the reality? How do you experience this mind reality? I hope you were going through that. If, that exercise, if you go through every day, the thoughts that come up, is this anumana or is this reality? We do so much judgment every time, right? We say that even in that anumana, there are percentages based on which there are multiple other things, but we will keep it as anumana for now. The distortion can be from 30% to 70%. There may be some truth, some untruth, some little bit of masala we add to it. Little bit. Or completely, I have understood it completely wrongly. It can even be that. So if I start observing my own thoughts and see, is this really real? I might jump to a conclusion. Two people are talking. And suddenly they looked at me. Are they talking about me? They don't like me. Why are they talking about? This is an anumana. We don't even know what they're talking about, but I have made an anumana there. That moment. If I go through life every minute, I will start seeing and questioning, is this real or is this unreal? And hence, to show us the reality, we need a Shabda Pramana, which is the scriptures, the Upanishads and all that, which is at a very high level. And hence, out of compassion for the common man who is wanting to know the reality, Adi Shankara has given this scripture called Atma Bodha. Yes, Bhargaviji, you have a question. We can start with your question.
It is not the question. Last week, internet was not proper. So
Yeah.
you asked us to hold on to a thought. You be with the thought, you said. And then next week, you said you will be continuing. Even I forgot. It was like this pramana only.
Anybody wants to remind me?
Yeah.
If you
It was very interesting topic.
Yeah, it was.
The entire week I was waiting for that. Just now I was remembering. Now it is not coming out. It is held up.
Anybody?
And this many classes.
I think it was the thought of what is real and what is unreal experience. This is what I remember. Through your week, you experience, you keep watching, observing yourself, and how much of it is anumana, how much of it, even the pratyaksha is really real. Observe that.
Yes.
Because
And
that unreality, this maya that they say, maya is nothing, but it is not that there is no world is maya. In the sense, the way I experience the world is maya.
Yes.
It is a mirage. I am thinking there is water somewhere. I walk there, then I see that it's not there.
Mirror images also, example.
Yes,
mirror images. Mirror images.
Yeah, mirror images. I walk into a room, dark room. I see one rope. I think it's a snake. Then when the light is turned on, then I realize it's only a rope. In the meanwhile, I've got so much fear, so much this thing, everything, all done. So similarly, everything that I'm experiencing in my mind with my memories, with my thoughts, with my preconceived notions, with my conditionings. And hence, I'm not experiencing the real world objectively. And we did that exercise, Describe me. We did that exercise of you describing me. And Premaji, who said, I think Divyaji was, she said, okay, white hair, that is Pratyaksha. Based on that, she made an Anumana of my age. And we'll be very sure that of that age also. And then she said, I'm a woman. That is Pratyaksha, what she's seeing. And then there was one more Anumana. Woman also is a name given to this. If I have these things, it's a name given. It's a knowledge based on that. So, as we go through everyday life, observe how much of reality I am with and how much unreal I am with. I think that was the thought I left you all with last week. I don't know how much came out in that talk though. Because of all the disturbances. Yeah.
Yeah, same Anumana and reality only. That it was. And this analysis has given me a lot of peace of mind. Wherever we have doubt, we judge, we suspect, Anumana. So if you just keep quiet, it gives lot of peace of mind and calmness
Separate
inside.
yourself. These thoughts, they are giving me disturbance. Are they even real? I come up with in the office, something happened, somebody else got promotion. I am not respected at all. My work is not seen at all. This thing is not done at all. We get into this, everybody, and then we keep jumping. All these thoughts, are they real or are they not real? Sometimes there may be some reality to it, but do we add some masala to it also? I'm not saying everything is totally unreal. But what is the percentage of reality in it at all? So can I separate myself from that and observe the thought instead of becoming caught with it and thinking that is a reality? I really hold on to it as though it is reality.
Most of the time, we don't use our brain. It is whatever said and done from the seniors, juniors, left and right. We repeat the same instead of using our own brain, thought, experience.
We don't use our real selves. We are not there. We become our mind. We don't step back from our mind.
Definitely, yes, really is.
If we just took a step back, things will be clearer. I have to just detach from that. Okay, so this is what we spoke about, and that is the reason we have the Shabda Pramana is needed. We have these great rishis who have experienced the reality at its highest level and want that Loka Sangraha, want everybody to be able to experience that, and hence have tried to break it down. And this was broken down what? In the first century, first millennium. 600 to 800 AD. That is when it was broken down. And since then, it has been carried through the Guru Shishya Parampara and has been kept relevant for us. And we just went through Guru Purnima. And, so now today we are actually starting the first verse of Atma Bodha. We have understood it's relevant for us to be able to separate from the real from the unreal. We need to be in touch with our real true selves. Okay.
Ma'am,
so
what does...
Go ahead.
Yes, Anu. What does Bodha mean?
Bodha. Like a sermon. Atma Bodha. Like
teaching. Bodha means teaching.
It is like a teaching about the Atman. Okay. Anybody who has the book, I will chant the verse and you can repeat. I think it's time we can try a little. We will do each verse. We will just try to repeat. Okay. In our own. You can, in mute, you can repeat. Tapobhihi kshina papanam. Tapobhihi kshina papanam. Shantanam vitaraginam. Shantanam vitaraginam. Mumukshunam apekshoyam. Mumukshunam apekshoyam. Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. Atma Bodho Vidhiyate. I'll read the word by word meaning, and then before we get into the commentary, we will share, one or two people can share what you think the verse is trying to tell as we translate. Tapobihi, by austerities. Kshina papanam, for those who have purified themselves. Shantanam, for those who are peaceful. Vitaraginam, for those who are free from cravings. Mumukshunam, for those who are desirous of liberation. Apeksha, hoping for, expecting to gain. Ayam, this. Atma Bodha, the knowledge of the self. Vidhiyate, is composed. What do you think this means? Anybody? What do you think it means? Verse 1, yes. Anyone? Yes, Gauravji.
So it kind of relates to what we started with in discussing what is real and unreal. How I relate is actually it's like those disturbances and ripples in water. So unless when one is peaceful and when one is free of cravings, I think that's the foundation at which this kind of knowledge then it actually
Is fruitful.
manifests, so to say. So it's like kind of reducing those distortions so that we are able to then see actually what is real.
Yes, very nice, very nice. These are like the qualities. When you have reached to some extent, when these qualities are there, then this Atma Bodha will be, it is for those who are peaceful, who are free from cravings, for those who are desirous of liberation. What does liberation mean to all of us? What is liberation?
Moksha.
What is moksha?
Bondage free. Of the
Bondage from
worldly
what?
affairs.
Bondage from what?
Free
From our
from our
body, mind.
desires.
Free from desires, okay. Moksha from desire, liberation from desires. What kind of desires? I desire to breathe. Can I say I don't have desires for breathing? Yes, Anu, sorry.
Free from samskaras.
Free from samskaras.
Free from
Conditioning.
suffering.
You said something, Anu? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, free from suffering and pain.
Free from suffering and pain.
Moksha, liberation is freedom from the cycle of birth and death.
Freedom from the cycle of birth and death. Is that in my experience? Yeah, that is the, yeah. Correct. But what is this? We have to understand. Is it something very high, or is it, the knowledge is actually very simple. It is like that sky is blue. I know the sky is blue. Once I know who I am, then there is freedom. So correct. Okay, so liberation. What are we all here for?
To
Happiness.
free ourselves from cravings and to become peaceful.
And to
To burn-
become
to
peaceful.
burn
But
our
they are saying
karmas.
that should be the first step.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Some
are not,
Um,
I don't think we are level of desiring for liberation. I don't think we are still there. Maybe
Yeah.
a little bit.
That is a final level of liberation, but we have to become liberated at every step. There are so many things, right? We keep cutting that root. Like a banyan tree, which has brought out so many more shoots, which are taking deep roots again. There is one tree, and from that tree, so many prop roots are coming. Those prop roots are again getting deepened, and it is forming, and it's becoming a very huge, big tree, never-ending tree. So now each of these prop roots have to be cut to finally become really free. So the liberation is at those small levels you keep, as we keep cutting those attachments, there is liberation, and then it gets to a very final detachment from the body itself. Absolutely.
Do meditation and do cleaning of the mind regularly.
Yes, through these things you can cut your attachments. You can. True. Okay. Anybody who wants to read the first 2 paragraphs from the book?
Identical with nature.
Identical, yeah, that is the aim. Our true nature.
Yeah.
Become identified. Yes, become identified with our true nature. Do you have the book, Premaji? You want to read the first 2 paragraphs?
First two paragraph means that as
I
a
am
pyramid.
composing this Atma Bodha, the treatise.
Which page? What?
Page number 9.
9.
Yeah.
9 number is that? Yeah. What I should read?
You can read those 2 paragraphs, Premaji.
I was composing. It starts from there.
I am composing from there. Yes.
I am composing.
Yeah.
I am composing this Atma Bodha, the treatise on the self-knowledge for those who have purified themselves by austerities, who are peaceful in heart, who are free from cravings, and are desirous of liberation. As a preamble, the great teacher Adi Shankara himself, a person of self-realization, lays down certain qualifications for those who wish to take up the study of this text. The verse also indicates the 4 aspects of the theme discussed, technically known as the Anubandha Chatushtayam.
Anubandha Chatushtayam.
Anubandha Chatushtayam.
Okay.
Such an introduction.
We can stop here, Premaji.
Okay, thank you.
So it is whatever we discussed here, it is about being purified by austerities who are peaceful in heart. Does austerities typically mean...
75 into 5. 2.
Can everybody mute yourselves, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Done. Yeah. So does austerities mean sitting in tapas all times? Does it mean just meditating at all times? That is what we feel, right? At times, austerities. Let us understand this a little further. So I will take you. The Anubandha Chatushtayam is a word. There are 4. One should know what this book is about. There are 4, 4 criteria that one should know before starting this book, what this book is giving. Okay. The first Anubandha Chatushtayam, there are 4. One is Vishaya. Vishaya means what is this book about? What is this book about? This book is about the individual, the world, and God, and Brahman. Jiva, Jagat, and Brahman. That is what this book. So basically, this book is all about knowing the self and the supreme reality. So we should know that this, because somebody will take up this book and then say, "Arey Baba, ye kahan pe aage main? What is going on and all that," right? So we should know that this book is about knowing the Jiva, Jagat, and Brahman. Who is God? We go through in our lives, we have these desires initially. Oh, I want to have a nice job. I want to build a house. I want this. I want to have a family. And after a point in time, there is a feeling, what is this purpose of this earning and doing this? There must be some, there's so much confusion around everything. What is the purpose of doing all of this? It's like the toy falling off after a point in time. The desire to go behind these material objects automatically drops off. and we start seeking order. I want to feel harmony. I want to feel a balance. I want to feel a kind of equilibrium within me. So at that stage, we move within and want to and go looking for something like this. If I ask somebody who is at the very young age and wanting to go and, very Rajasic, going out there, want to earn, want to, set up a big institution, and I go and ask them, well, who are you? They say, "Arey, this is all hopeless people. These people are losers. They don't know what to do in life." And so they ask like this. So that is a fruit which has to fall off when we want to do this. So Vishaya, we have to know that this Vishaya, this book, is for those who are seeking this knowledge of the Jagat, Jiva, Jagat and Brahman. And the other one is Prayojana. What is the purpose of this book? The purpose of this book is for liberation, moksha. Moksha. We go to school to study about all the, how to earn and all that. That is Apara Vidya. And Paravidya is when I want to learn more about myself and cut those attachments. So that is something we need. That is Anubandha Chatushtaya. And the other criteria is, are you an adhikari? So what are the adhikaris they are telling here? What should we be? How should we be as an adhikari? Someone who is
Eligibility, right?
peaceful.
Who are eligible, like?
Who is eligible? What is the eligibility criteria given here by Shankaracharya?
Who practices Nitya Naimittika Karma.
Here he has given Shantanam, for those who are peaceful, for those who are free from cravings, for those who are desirous of liberation, and expecting to gain the knowledge of the self. Okay. We may not be perfectly there, but we are on the path somewhere. Okay. We are on the path somewhere. Who are reasonably peaceful. A very, very disturbed person may not gain much from this. Okay. So we had Anubandha Chatushtaya. There were 4. First one was Vishaya. The second one was Prayojana. Third one is who is the Adhikari. And then the Sambandha, which is relationship between the Vishaya and the Prayojana. You should be application. You should be able to make connections between the Vishaya and apply it. These 4 things. We go knowing that this is what is needed. This is what we are going to gain from this book. This is what we are going to be seeking and gaining from this book. Okay. So this is like the this thing, preparation. Know that this is what this book is all about. So let us discuss. So, but for us, this Sambandha is very important. So as an Adhikari today, I want to focus a little more on this Adhikari of the peaceful, how peaceful I feel, how I can feel peaceful if I am not feeling already, the cravings, liberation, and expecting to gain the knowledge of the self. So let us dwell on this. Let us, really iron out this Adhikari before we start off this part of it. So who is the self? We have spoken about when I am just there. When I'm not, how much can I sit without doing anything? Do I like spending time with myself? That self who is beyond any doing, who is just the being. Can you try and experience that self this moment? Because that is the self that is there within us. And the more we turn towards the self, the more peaceful we are.
Tiji, I just want to share here one. As we say, being, just being. I heard a talk. They were, Chinmayananda ji has said, be with God, ing, being in God, eating, eat in God, doing, do in God, seeing. So everything in God, that is self. That's what, yeah, I
That
don't
is
know whether
what
my
Vedanta
understanding is
says.
right
It
or
is.
not.
Where is the
I-
God? The God is the self.
Yes.
Yes. The higher self within me. Be in God, eat in God. So everything you do, you perform every act in the world, but we do it like a role. Like, how does it work? So there is a movie. Now there is a movie that is playing. Now every actor in the movie does not know the whole picture of what is the whole movie. They come, they do their part, they go. And who is telling them what to do? The director is telling them what to do. Only the director is telling them what to do. So this person is just sitting there and he is following the directions of the director and doing their bit. Now, who has the whole picture? It is only the director who has the whole picture of the movie. Even the actor will go and watch the whole movie and say, wow, this is the movie. Until then, the actor has no idea. Only the director has the picture. Similarly, we are just actors in this larger framework. And we are being directed by that higher self within. Our thoughts, our words, everything is being directed from there. If I know this, that is the knowledge of the self. Because that light is shining, my eyes are working, my mind is working. So whatever words come, everything, just turn around and look at the self. But this peace, right, we spoke about in the first class. There is this bed of lake, the lake surface, full of turmoil. How do we make, when there is a turmoil, what do we do? How can we become peaceful? What are the methods that we all follow to become peaceful? Please share so we can learn from each other.
The
Taking
first
deep,
is, excuse me,
Divyaji?
taking deep breaths.
Okay. You take deep breaths. Okay. Focus on the breath also. All right. Does it help, Divyaji, when you take deep breaths?
At times, but sometimes I'm just too carried away to remember to focus on, honestly, ma'am.
Sometimes you get carried away, but when you remember and start focusing on the breath, does it help?
Yes, it does, because that high it goes, be it anger, be it sadness, that emotion, it just passes.
So when does it become, when do I forget? When I become the thought. I keep thinking about the thought and I become the thought. I don't know the difference between the thought and me. I cannot make out the difference between the emotion and me.
Yes.
And suddenly I realize, I have just been flowing away with the emotion. At that time, that emotion and I get separated. There is a gap between the emotion and the I. And at that time, I can turn away my attention from the emotion and bring it to the breath. Taking control over that. Now, what I'm doing is I'm turning away from this and I am taking control. I'm saying I'm not going to look at you or emotion. I'm not going to flow with you. And I bring my awareness to the breath. And prana is that when I moderate it, when I am focusing on that, initially it will be deep breaths and slowly it settles down. Yes, that's a good method. Divyaji, anybody else?
Doing meditation.
Doing meditation is a good thing. Is what it does. It activates our frontal lobe. Here, when we are acting, when we are reactive, we act from the temporal lobe, which is from the back. That is an animalistic instinct, flight or fright. Reactive. Somebody said something, I do. I act. It's just like one surge that comes up. Okay, and I act, there's no thinking, there's no pause. But the more I start meditating, the more I act from the temporal mode, this becomes weaker and this becomes stronger, and I keep getting more and more reactive. But when I start meditating and I make that a part of my this thing, the frontal lobe starts getting more activated, and hence naturally there is a tendency for me to take a pause. When I'm regular with meditation, naturally I start taking a pause a little easier for me to take a pause. But just doing a meditation in the morning alone is not enough. I have to be aware through the day also and take a pause. Okay, Anuj has written, what did you read? I close my eyes and sit alone for some time.
It is acquiring knowledge. Attending satsang also gives us knowledge, so that we can look into ourselves, our thoughts, our emotions, and divert it. Actually, streamline it.
Yeah. So when that gap comes, the knowledge will be when first you realize, and when the gap comes, you realize, and then the knowledge starts kicking in. When I become the emotion, the knowledge does not work. It's only when that gap comes and I'm able to take control, then the knowledge helps me. Yes. Free from cravings. Any other methods anybody applies to become,
Music,
move away
singing,
from the turmoil and become peaceful? Yes, Premaji.
music and singing, bhajan,
Okay, music and singing bhajan.
chanting, mantras.
Yeah, those are all forms of meditation.
Yeah.
Yes. Singing and meditation and chanting, all of these are forms. See, meditation, some of us can sit and meditate. For some, the thoughts, it's very difficult to gain control over the thoughts. So then chantings help. You need something, that mind has to be given something. And hence chanting helps. Even some people do the Zentangles and, some kind of drawings. And all of those are ways, or you just walk and chant. Give yourself a very, sometimes the thoughts are so strong, I want to take control, and yet it is not coming in my control. Those thoughts are repeatedly, then just take a walk, a brisk walk with chanting. And even that helps. Yes, devotion or surrender. Absolutely. That is the highest way. You just say, accept. That's it. Whatever is happening is happening. I surrender it. Some scheme of event, whatever happens, happens for good, they say, right? It's a beautiful statement, actually, if you can just live it. Analyzing the situation, whether it is self-created or was a situation forced, and then trying to calm through the best way one feels. What is the situation forced and self-created, Vasudhaji? Do you want to explain it? Self-created, okay. I am imagining things. Situation was forced. So somewhere we are giving reality to the situation as that is a bad situation. And even everything is self-created only, right, Vasudhaji? Almost always. Do we agree? Or is there a dispute to that?
Yes, karma.
More and more we analyze, we get entangled. The more I analyze, I have to use the intellect. The more I use the intellect, justifications can come in, and all of those can come in. So have you ever, when you try to reason out what are the thoughts that come in, right, wrong, good, bad? Who is wrong? They are wrong. I am right. This is good. That is bad. The more I get into this, it is the using of the intellect. It will only tire us more, more prana will be taken away. The more thinking I do. Analysis. Zooming out, stepping back, it is like when this hand is there, the nearer I am and I keep looking at it, what is there, what is there, what is there, I can't see the hand's lines properly. I have to give a distance. Then only clarity will come in.
Even our intellect has not developed much to handle the situation sometimes in the life.
Yeah.
So the problem is enlarged, exaggerated.
The intellect should only work to apply the knowledge that you get from the Shabda Pramana. Not your own analysis of what is right, what is wrong, who was right, who was wrong. Was the situation forced? Was I wrong? The intellect should only be used, that buddhi should be used only to apply the knowledge of the Shabda Pramana.
No,
That
when I
will
observe
help us
myself,
disentangle. Yes.
yeah, when I observe myself during my crisis time, I learned that I have not developed enough to handle the situation. I am at par with my son, so that I cannot handle him. Had I grown above him, so that I would have easily handled the situation, whatever the challenge in life.
Your son is giving you an opportunity to grow.
Grow, yes. That's what I learned. I had not developed enough to handle him or the family situation. So it was a challenge for me.
That is in the past tense. What has happened? It's a regret.
Yes, yes. No. Now I understand myself why the problem was created, because I was not grown enough.
Okay.
So it was a challenge.
Okay. It's a realization. Okay.
All these people have come in our life to teach us.
Correct.
We are learning.
Correct.
Yeah, Artiji, you can always distract your mind. I mean, do something else. Get yourself.
But what are we actually doing when we distract the mind?
We are actually further. We think
We
the
are
other
just
thing.
brushing it under the carpet.
Exactly.
It is going to come up sometime. We have this very, 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 very subtle messages and meanings we take out of situations which we see as pain or pleasure. The moment somebody, when I was a child, gives me a chocolate, oh, this uncle is a very good uncle. Gave me chocolate. Very subtle. I like because he gave me chocolate. So this uncle is a good uncle. Decision. Somebody was speaking a little rudely to somebody. I see that person. Oh, this person seems to be a very short-tempered person. The next time I approach that person only, I will go with that conditioning that this person is a short-tempered person. With that judgment, that conditioning is already there. Okay. Like that, we have been taking in so many conditionings, and based on that, we are looking at the world. And the more we observe, just observe around me. No, it's beautiful. I don't know how many of you, when you start a job, if initially you don't jump in, when you're in a new company, you don't jump in and start giving all ideas, right? You're just observing what is happening and absorbing everything that is there. How is the company working? What is happening? Learning. In observance, there is a lot of learning about ourselves and about the world also. And also now with this Shabda Pramana, when we can, what am I taking in? You can actually see those, the mind is taking this conditioning. Stop. Keep it there. Let me just observe the reality. Is this Anumana or is this is this Anumana or is this real? Keep questioning that. So okay, so we saw for peaceful. Now what are the kind of cravings we have now? Anybody? Do we have cravings or do we not have any craving? What is the difference between cravings and desire? Maumita ji, you want to say something?
Desire is once craving for the desire multiple times, repeatedly. The same thing is a craving.
Craving is very intense. I mean,
How do we get to cravings?
desire only leads to craving.
Desire. So desire is bad? We should not
really.
have any desire?
No, it is okay to have desire, but the spiritual people say, means our scriptures say it, we should be desireless. So
Yeah, it is more like it is cravingless because you have attached to the desire. Now I have a desire to take the Atma Bodha to everybody. So I start a class. So there is a desire there, right? Only because of that we take action in the world. A
Desire can be for a higher ideal also. It
Yeah.
depends on, like, I might have a desire to work for the people, for the betterment of the society. So depends on what my ideals are.
Yeah. And yes, what is the intention behind the desire also matters. I desire because I desire to take care of my family, and hence I feel like I need to get up and go to work every day. That is also a desire.
And desire is an expression of longing. And this one, that one is of neediness, that expression of neediness, craving. And craving is a negative, might be negative. And this desire is a positive approach, I think.
Desire is a wish. A
Wish.
longing also becomes a little more, right? Now I have
Yes.
when I was a child, I wanted to go to the US and I wanted to study, but my parents couldn't afford it or they didn't send me. So when I grow up, that desire is there, and hence now I want to send my son to the US. Whatever happens, I have to get him to study there. That is a craving which has grown, and now I want to, that I have attached my son to that desire also, or my child to that desire, and living my desire through the child, like Dhritarashtra did it through his son Duryodhana. He couldn't become the king, so let Duryodhana become the king. Hook or crook, whatever he did, didn't question, become the king. That is all. So that is unfulfilled desires, can be cravings or never-ending desires. One thing after another, this one came. I get this feeling that I am very good. But then I see that person is even better than me. So some more. That person is even better. Now one more person is even better than me. Some more. And
Desire can arise from unrest mind, I think, also. Because some people, if they are depressed, they have a craving for chocolates or something like that. So sometimes cravings are when the mind is agitated or the mind is disturbed. Cravings can arise from that.
it is a two-way process. It is the cravings which give rise to the depression. Some craving which has given rise to the depression, and hence the depression gives rise to cravings, further cravings.
Cravings is an unhealthy behavior also.
Unhealthy, yeah, it can lead to unhealthy behavior also. So here we are not talking about, yes, Gaurav.
Greed.
Huh?
Craving comes from greed. Does it come from greed? I'm asking.
Cravings can lead to greed. Yeah, never-ending desire, one after another. Greed is one form of cravings. Yes, Gauravji?
So, when I experience craving, it's almost like a loss of freedom. So it's like a neural circuitry is etched so much that I, like a slave, then I'm just following, uh, you know, putting aside my own agency. I'm just now a slave to that route, and I'm following that. Craving feels like that. Desire sometimes, can come as a very natural something, blooms, good or bad, whatever. But craving for me, a lot of cravings I have. Sometimes I Yeah, it's like yeah, I'm on an autopilot, almost powerless.
And it's very hard to
Following
come
those.
out of it once you fall for the craving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So craving is binding. Desire is more of it gives it some direction to head in. But cravings can be really binding, and I can get really stuck in one, like that broken record. That same thing, I am there and I just don't progress from there. In that broken record, the music keeps playing that line again and again and again and again, right? So even when we listen to our own mind and we keep hearing the same words, it is some craving. It could be craving for somebody's attention. Craving is not only material objects. Even a person is a material object. I am craving for affection from a particular person. That can also keep playing like a broken record in my mind. Craving for longing for love, craving for attention, craving for validation. All of this is seeking something from outside of me. It becomes a craving, and that will keep working in our minds. All I have to do is turn around. In whom is this craving arising? It is important to see the cravings. How can I become peaceful? If I keep giving, why do I have these cravings? I should not have these cravings. Let me not do anything with these cravings. Why? But the more I keep feeding this craving is controlling me. To really get out of that craving, I have to say, instead of saying, I am craving for this, now that craving, just drop it and say, I am. I just am. Who is craving? I. That I just am. What I'm doing is, craving is we have two parts within us, the I and the ego, the self and the ego. Craving is part of the ego, the self. So the moment I turn away from the ego and abide in the self, anything that is in the ego falls. It could be my emotion, it could be a thought. I don't have that craving, that thought does not have the same control over me as it did while I was feeding it. The moment I say, who is this? The self, the I, the Atma. And who is that Atman? Just let us take a moment to experience this higher self. We will sit for 5 minutes, for 2 minutes, and just observe the wall. Any thoughts that come, anything, open your eyes and just observe the wall that is opposite to you. Thoughts may come like a kaleidoscope, they come and they go. If you get caught in a thought, no problem. Just like a child got up when it learned to walk, it used to fall, it gets up and starts walking again. Don't regret, don't say anything. Just remind yourself, I am not the thought, and start staring at the wall. Experience the bliss of abiding in the self as the observer, as the witness consciousness, the Sakshi Bhava. This is freedom, there is joy, and there is vastness, and there is liberation in this self. Thoughts may come, thoughts will go eventually. If you don't hold on to it, it will go. If you hold on to it, it will stay. So just let it go. You're not the thought, just be. Just be. Know your existence. You just exist. And this existence is joyful. This is my true nature. Everything in you is just happening. Breathing is happening. Listening is happening. I am not listening. The listening is just happening. I am not breathing. The breathing is happening. Similarly, when the thoughts come up, the thoughts are just happening. I am not thinking. When emotions are happening, I am not I am not feeling. The emotions are just happening. I am separate from it. I am the observer. Desires come. I have a choice to take them up or to leave them. When I abide in the self, I have the choice to be the master or to be the slave. I have a choice to be bonded and entangled or to be disentangled. Yes. You may choose to come back whenever you're ready.
Ma'am, I experienced that disentangling.
You did. What happened? You want to
Yes.
explain that, Anu?
Yeah, so how you guided that uh, so many thoughts are coming up. Some of the thoughts are from memory. And then the story, how we make stories from the past, how we saw them, how I saw my own childhood, or how I see my life. So some thoughts are just fleeting, and then I can choose to just ignore them.
Yes.
So that is disentangling and knowing that they're thoughts.
And they're not me.
Knowing they're not me. And also, I actually tried to still the thoughts, and that didn't work.
No, they will come and go. Like the breathing
Yeah.
is happening, the thoughts are just happening, but I just am.
Yeah.
I
It's a
just,
very nice, it's a very nice, mm, very peaceful state, because all that memories and burdens which are very heavy on the head, you can just keep it off, because I feel very light.
yeah. It's like the train of life is going.
Yeah.
I am in this train of life. The thoughts and the emotions are all like these my suitcases. Okay,
Yeah.
on my bed. What I am doing is the suitcase you can just put. I am carrying the suitcase on my head,
Yeah.
thinking that is somewhere, not knowing that I can just put it down on the train.
Attachment.
Okay.
Attachment to the thought.
I just have to put it down. That
Hmm.
will also flow with the train. I will also go with the train.
Hmm.
I don't have to carry it like a burden on.
Hmm.
The self is liberated. It is all-knowing. It is self-knowing. And it is beyond the emotion. That is why it's called Panchakoshatita. It is beyond all. The Atita means beyond. It is beyond the 5 layers. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya. It's beyond all of this. It's beyond all the guna. It is just there. I am. That's it. Yeah. Yes, Divya. You had a question, Divya ji?
Yeah. Now I'm like, I don't know. It felt very good. Yes, that was there. As the thoughts were coming, it comes and goes. I don't analyze, and then I'm feeling good. But one thing it's a question that is I wanted to ask. See, craving and all is an intense emotion. At that time, is it difficult to pause and separate yourself from that feeling or emotion?
That is why we practice meditation on a regular basis in the morning and in the evening. The more we practice it, the more the frontal lobe is activated, and it becomes easier for us to practice, to pause and to become aware, first of all, and then to pause.
Okay, and I mean, be it like something, an emotion like an anger, I can feel that I'm getting angry, but sometimes it just goes and I'm
Yeah.
not able to pause
And then you regret it and this and that.
exactly.
Yeah. So here's what I would say. We are all on the process. We are all work in progress people, correct? So I am working, think of yourself as learning to walk. Okay? I practice awareness. I practice being in awareness in Sakshi Bhava as the self as much as I can. But I understand that I will also make mistakes. I will err sometimes. And that's okay. I get up and I say, I'll try again.
Okay.
Simple. Don't regret. Now, what am I doing? I'm feeding that. Oh, I did it. Why did I do it? Where am I again? I'm not being. Every moment, try to just be. You fail, no problem. I will err. Accept that you will err. But that next moment when you realize that you have erred, just be.
The awareness that we erred is important.
Yes, don't just be perpetuating that now. Why did I? Now I'm getting into the mind again and going on. No, I realize that I erred. Okay, I lost my control. No problem. Now just be. Come back. It is about coming back to equilibrium and balance as soon as you can. Okay, Divya ji? We will
Yes, ma'am.
let us accept that.
That's a very nice attitude to keep in mind. Very useful. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. This moment I should be aware. This moment, every single little nano moment I should be aware. When I'm going into regret mode, guilt mode, again I am perpetuating the emotion. I'm moving away from the self. Every moment my endeavor is to just be.
For that, forget and forgive is also important.
Yeah, just to be, you will automatically forget and forgive.
Yeah.
Just to practice.
Forgive
Only
your-
one solution, simple solution, just to be. When I say I forget, I will forgive. That is also from where? Where is that coming from? From the mind.
Mind.
It is
And
not
again,
coming
all
from.
these practices is in the world, in the family, the society, in the marketplace. I
Yes.
cannot
Now
do
this
it alone.
observer, we observe the wall, it's very easy. The thoughts are coming. Now you sit, especially when the child is doing the homework and the mother is going to sit in that room and keep observing the child. Can you just sit and observe the child is looking here and there, taking the pencil, playing? But you just, I'm just saying it is a practice for me, right? Whatever is happening, the thoughts come and go, everything. So that is why, you have this Vipassana and all this 10 days of just silence. You sit there morning to evening, 10 hours of meditation. The mind, all the impurities of the mind start playing in. You are only with yourself the whole time. And then you take control. You come out of it. Disentanglement. I am, I just am. Meditation is a huge, very, very good tool. Extremely good tool and technique towards this liberation, towards moksha. Oh, Neela, yes, you have. Yeah. How was your experience of Vipassana? Neela Lohita.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Sunita. Actually, the name is my son's name.
Okay.
Yeah. So after I did Vipassana, I can only see the impurities of my mind. So where I am failing, this is not my negative side. Whatever problems I am getting into, so I am the reason from this negative side of mine, these are coming. So that identification is happening, but still it is keep on coming and coming, ma'am. Still working.
It will come. Years, janmas and janmas of accumulations we have.
Correct.
Okay, it will come, but I can still just be. See, first step we will be blaming. First step we will be blaming the world. Everybody else is wrong when I am in pain. The second step, once I have now realized with Vipassana and all, the world is not to be blamed. Everything is happening in my mind. Now I will start blaming myself. Oh, this thought is giving me pain, all that. Now I have to move to the self. The thought is itself not me. Why am I worried? Let it come, let it go. Like in the world, somebody is talking and now I know it is not their problem. It is in my mind. Now I say, my mind, it will happen. Let it keep happening. But I just am. That's it. Now move your attention from the mind to the self. The more you feed the mind, why is this happening? The more it grows. It feels strengthened. You see, I don't know if you've seen this. A child who cries, you give attention to the child who cries and give them what they want. They will cry more because they know that it's working for them. The child is crying. I don't know what to do. Give the mobile in their hand. The next time the child will cry again. Okay, give the mobile in their hand. Whenever they want the mobile, they will cry now. Because that is their language of expression. Similarly, this is the language. The thought knows that you will feed it whenever it comes, so it will keep coming. You start ignoring it. Now a child, when they cry, you just say, sorry, I'm not giving it. And you just walk away and you're very calm and not disturbed at all. The child will say, this is not working. Let me not do this.
It's how you handle tantrums, ma'am, from attention
Yeah,
seeking.
it's okay. You can cry. No problem. You keep crying. I'm not attending to you. Similarly, you tell your mind, okay, thought, this is coming, this is going. I am peaceful. That's it. Okay. So I think it's time we'll close the session for today. So 2 things for you to observe this week. One is when you just start, know what is real and what is not real in your thoughts. Don't analyze them. Is this real or is this not real? Anything that is coming as a thought, I am talking about psychological thoughts. I'm not talking about functional thoughts. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to attend, I have to cook, I have to go to office. I'm not talking about functional thoughts. I'm only talking about psychological thoughts. Psychological thoughts are all a distortion of my conditionings. Okay? So they are not real. What is real? The pure I, the self, the higher reality, which is beyond all of this. So just be. So become an observer. Try to be an observer at least for an hour every day. At least for an hour every day. And let us also try to be, there are certain times like when you're having a bath, be absolutely still and watch the flow of the water on you. It can be very meditative. Even if you're not able to give your time separately, meditation separately, at least half an hour every day is very good. Otherwise, just allow the water. When you're having a bath, be absolutely meditative. When you're eating, be absolutely meditative. You can practice meditation. When you're walking, be absolutely, don't do walk the talk, friends, ha ha ho ho. Walk by yourself. These are certain things that you can kind of put it in your day-to-day activities. If you can do a early morning meditation and before you go to sleep meditation, because even in sleep, the subconscious mind is constantly working. So when you meditate, the frontal lobe will work even in your sleep and it will help take control. So practice these and be an observer at least for an hour this whole week. Choose a time and I will just observe whatever is happening. I will not react. I may answer some question, but because they have asked me, but very minimally. 1 hour, it is almost like Mauna Vradam, but not Mauna Vradam. I am just being an observer. Okay?
I am doing for the last so many years, ma'am. That's why I could cope up with these people, my daughter and my husband.
Very good. We still have to, yeah. Check. Just parting one word. My happiness is my responsibility and nobody else's. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaah, sarve bhadrani pashyanto, ma kaschid dukkha bad bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll meet